A disappointing performance from Arsenal in this game tonight. Arsenal to Wolves 2-0 lead for Arsenal, and we have thrown it away. And the Premier League season where we are right now is at a very, very sensitive juncture. I can imagine many of my viewers out there are, you, you're not in a great place right now. You're not in a great mood right now, but we are here for you on Fire Them Cannons. At least I'm here for you right now. And I'm here for, the post-mortem. If anybody wants to come on right now, in the chat, whenever, I know it's like 12:30 in the morning in the UK for when people are watching. And yeah, but I'm just going to be here to cover this game post-game. So you guys are more than welcome. If you want to come on to jump on, I'll actually leave I will leave the link actually for this show. I will leave the link in for this show and post it and pin it into the chat. Let me pin the message. So if you want to come on and have your say, the link is in the chat. We generally don't do this at the moment. It's 11:30 p.m. So it's the middle of the day. So I'm just by here by myself. Cal actually isn't available right now, but I have decided to come on and do a post-game stream for anybody because I just feel like, I'm feeling down after this game, and I'm not feeling good about this game. So if anybody out there, is feeling the same, I want to give you guys an outlet to be able to talk, vent your frustrations, honestly, whether it's positive or negative. Let's not be fake here. Let's be real about where we are right now this season. And losing to Wolves, or not losing, it feels like losing, but drawing to Wolves in the manner that we did is not good. I'm seeing everything, the meltdowns. I'm seeing the media narratives, everyone, everywhere. And yeah, it's not a great feeling at the moment. It really is not. I just, I don't see anybody in here right now, but, I imagine some of you guys will jump in at some point if you guys are awake. If not, I'll just sit around here. I'll just chat. And we'll recap the game because it will be still good content, I guess, for everybody watching this afterwards. I'm gonna be just kind of scouring around, seeing some of the reactions around. I can see that my boys, the Gooners Therapy, are live right now. I've just been on the Football Terrace. So I also want to hear from the manager, from Mikel Arteta, from the players. We'll go into some of these interviews and the post-match press conference from Arteta. So much to get into, I guess, tonight. The meltdown, the reaction, and this is sort of the stuff that I don't like the most about this. Is not necessarily the result itself and what it means for Arsenal, because at the end of the day, it is just football. It is just sports. And, that's just kind of it is. Life is, I think, sometimes is bigger than this. But for me, it's more about the way people react to these things, the narratives that come around the club. And maybe it's totally deserved at this point. Let's get that out there. It could be completely and totally deserved to go away to Wolves in the manner that we did. And maybe a part of me should just come out here and tell you my feelings on the game and tell you how my frustrations first and foremost, because I am definitely not happy. I am very upset. And as somebody who's come and stuck my neck out on the line for this football club week in and week out, for someone who always preaches calm and preaches patience to those around me in times and preaches confidence, For Arsenal to let me down in the way that they have today, first and foremost, makes me very upset. It really does make me very upset. So there are a few things I can, run through kind of the series of events, and kind of just what's been happening. But yeah, guys, in the comment section, feel free, please, please, please. The chat is open. Tell me how you're feeling. I've pinned in the comment section the link to come onto the show if you want to call in. I am more than happy to hear and listen to your opinion, because, guys, at the end of the day, regardless of what time it is around the world, it's a moment where I feel that I had to kind of come in here, chat to everybody, because people have said things have gone a bit nuts, in recent times, even behind the scenes with all the Arsenal fans everywhere. And, it's a tough one to take. I don't think anybody expected us to drop points at all today in terms of what this means for the title race. There's so much stuff that's going through our head. The years past, the PTSD, and to be honest, I'll allow it. Of all days, today I will allow it. So I'm gonna kind of say how I feel on the game. Obviously, we're gonna have other shows, and we'll cover this. We've got some shorts coming out. Cal sent me his most post-match reaction, his short to this game, and it's emotional. It's emotion driven. It was hard for me to come on the terrace earlier. I had really no idea what I wanted to say or how to put things into context. But, let's kind of spend however long, we have on this stream. I mean, the more engagement, the longer this will go. If I'm just sitting here chatting to myself, then so be it, and this stream won't last so long, and I'll just still entertain you, because I can chat to myself, and this is how I do my videos on my own anyway, as it is. But yeah, I'm just kind of tell you how I feel. I honestly am going to tell you how I feel. I'm, for the first time this year, I'm really starting to doubt. I'm starting to doubt our credentials. I'm starting to doubt where the season is going. And for me, I feel like it's totally self-inflicted. Like, again, I will still reiterate, I could give a shit. I could not give a shit, about Manchester City. I actually could not, even in this moment, I could not give a shit about Manchester City. Now, if they win the league, I believe it's totally 100% down to us. It'll be down to us having thrown it away, mentality, bottling it. There's no other way around it. I never believed that this would happen this year. And I've always kind of thought this would came down to so many other different variables. The fact that this squad is so strong, the fact that, we've been through the wars, we're finally, this would be our year. And it still could. It really still could. But right now, I'm actually disappointed and disgusted on so many levels. About the way we come out at these games, the intention. For me, when it comes to these Premier League games, we should be really leaving it to zero doubt. We came out, we went for it, we went up in the first 5 minutes from Saka, and I'm like, okay, all right, good, nice. And then it seemed like as if Wolves were completely devoid of life. I had saw Andy Townsend on my, at least I don't know what streams you guys were all watching, but on my stream, Andy Townsend was coming out there and being, oh, Wolves, come on, wake up, Wolves. What's, they just need something. They just can't, let this game go out of hand so early on. And Arsenal needed the game to go out of hand. Arsenal needed to put their foot on the necks and ensure 3 points early. And the most frustrating part about it was that we were 2-0 up. We were 2-0 up. This game should have been dead and buried. There's no way and no how. I thought Wolves were scoring even a singular goal, let alone two. At the end of the game, the way that we managed the end of the game, put it to bed, control the game. Why are they on a counterattack break? Why are we letting them break down the wings? Why aren't we breaking things up? There's so many things about this game that absolutely anger me, let alone the fact that it's 20th in the league, Wolverhampton Wanderers, that we should be winning. And we have, in our potential game in hand, given Manchester City full control if they wanted to. If Man City win all 12 of their remaining fixtures, which again I doubt, they will be Premier League champions. And I say right now it is time for us to buck up and beat the Spurs. Oh, I don't give a fuck about your new manager bounce. I don't give a shit that they're fighting relegation. We should have zero fucks. Not to to cuss too much, but we should be giving zero fucks about them. Tonight is embarrassing. Tonight, I was sitting there, by the way, I thought actually, I knew that we were conceding before we did because somehow my stream was delayed and I saw people in my group chat going, Wolves. I'm like, no, that can't be real. This must be a troll job. And then 15 to 30 seconds later, I saw it. And to be honest, I need to rewatch it myself, replay back that final moment because it's cloudy for me. I just saw the ball go in the back of the net. I saw some sort of deflection. Furthermore, who the fuck is Tom Odozie? Like, this is how embarrassing it is. I've actually looked at my spreadsheet for Wolves. Tom Odozie doesn't even his name isn't even on the spreadsheet. I don't know what position he plays. I don't know what country he's from. He could be I don't know anything about it. I don't know how old he is. Still couldn't tell you his EA rating. I have no fucking idea. Who the fuck is Tom Odozie? And he's scoring probably the biggest back-breaking goal in our season this year. And what really annoys me, and by the way, it's 2 wins out of 7, right? We've got 10 points out of potential 21, so we dropped 11 points. We're 27 games now into the season now. Since that 20th match, which was, I believe it was Bournemouth away. Since our 20th match, which was Bournemouth away, we have dropped 11 points. I have defended this team. I defended and I will continue to defend this team until it's over. And I will continue to show my face on camera, regardless, win, lose, draw, whatever, right? But I'm upset today. And I think I have the right. I don't think I fully even just let it out because I was just not kind of the person I am. I'm the type of person I feel like I got to be strong for everybody. I've got to be an outlet for other people to come on and allow their say and allow other people to be emotional around me so that I can be the voice of reason or to be the calming voice in the room that tells everybody, guys, it's going to be okay. And that's what I'm here for, by the way, guys, today. So I've seen a few of you guys in here. Do not be shy. If you guys just want, you don't even need to come up on the screen. Just seriously hit the like button. If sit here, if you want to just watch. If you want to comment, just comment, because that's kind of what I'm here for right now, which is to just, be here for the people. That's just what I'm here for. But, as well, I might as well, play some content, some stuff from across the league. I'm gonna try to be careful in terms of obviously copyright and not playing the wrong things. But while I've got time here, I can go ahead and we can play for you, some certain clips. I want to get to Mikel Arteta's press conference. So let's go to Mikel Arteta's press conference. I'm going to I have to bring the screen share up. And then, of course, I'll do kind of, I'm going to go and watch back some of the highlights by myself on the side and kind of just, you won't see it on the screen, but I'm just going to go tell you how I feel about it. Just kind of rewatching some of the moments back. Obviously, I'll do a full rewatch myself later, as painful as it might be, especially that's final. It's just the way we handled that second half. Like, just finally, before I go to Mikel, I didn't like everyone around me was, and I even felt it myself, but I just kind of want to feel it because I'm like, whatever. It's just Wolves are so bad; they're so in the dumps. It shouldn't matter. But I did feel like there was something off. Like the energy just wasn't there. Like something was wrong at a certain point. There was actually one point where I'm sitting around, I'm talking about, how amazing Saka is playing in the 10 and about Odegaard's future with Arsenal. And, I was actually feeling really good at one point in this game about, Arteta's lineup, the performance to a certain point, to a certain extent of Saka performing in that role. And, things got very choppy. Things got out of hand. I think it started a little bit, with the referee. I think he allowed the physicality to go on a little bit too much. You can tell that it was annoying our players, how, the slightest things, and Wolves were getting free kicks. Wolves were like, by the way, this is not me. I'm talking about how I feel the players were feeling, just by watching the game. And you could tell that they were just a little bit annoyed, a little bit frustrated. All like Wolves, I think, were being a bit hard in the challenge at sometimes, and I think there were things that the referee let go for them that they didn't get let go for us. There were a few penalty shouts, but at the end of the day, the balls were loose. We had them on their throat. Rice was threading through balls. I don't know what Martinelli was having a bad game today. We can go through player ratings today if that's what you guys want to do as well. Martinelli didn't have a good day today. I mean, that's for sure. I'm surprised he lasted all the way to the end of the game, in all honesty. There are times where I thought, we were zipping it around. Gyökeres looked lively coming out on the wings. There was stuff that in the first half, that moments that we were actually up and we were alive and we should have capitalized. But the longer the game drew on, I felt like something weird, bizarre is happening. And Wolves were trying things. You could feel slightly maybe that their confidence were up. They were getting like these little free kicks. And from the 2-0 up point, I'm like, okay, that's done. That's it. This should be over. And they scored right away, 5 minutes after. Yeah, this was Mikel Arteta. Let's get to Mikel in the press conference. Here's what he has to say.
Well, extremely disappointed, obviously, with the result, with the way the game ended. But we have to blame ourselves. I think the performance in the second half didn't show anything close to the standards that are required in this league to win, and with the margins that I think should have existed today, especially in the manner that we played the first half. So it's a moment of disappointment. We all want to talk a lot about how we're feeling. It's not the moment to do that, because anything that we do has to be always and only with the intention to help the team. And right now I think we have to swallow that frustration. When you are at this level and at the top, you need to take the hits, because today we deserve them as well, and move on as quick as possible, because on Sunday we have a big game coming up.
In that second half, see you gesturing to the players to just calm down, keep the ball. How do you explain that inability to do that, and what happened?
It was one after the other, to be fair. So it was a moment after another moment after another moment. So even though we scored the second goal, we never got gripped and dominance of the game. That's the reality. And that's some credit, obviously, to Wolf. And I don't want to underestimate that, but I think we played a big part on that. And as I said, there are very basic things, very simple things that today we did really wrong. And that's why we had the feeling, obviously, without really conceding much. But the moment is always the game open to anything that can happen.
John from Mirror.
Michael, does it raise question marks about the mentality within the team? Because out there tonight, it looked as if they were struggling under the pressure, under the expectation. You know, you're out there to go 7 points clear.
I think any question, any criticize, any opinion, you have to take it on the chin today. I mean, that's it. Any hit, any bullet, take it, because we didn't perform at the level that is required. So anything that anybody says can be right, because we didn't do what we had to do. And the way to do it is on that pitch on Sunday in a great opportunity that we had.
Are they strong enough to do that? Are they strong enough to come back?
We always done it, but you are as strong as to show it the next time you do it. To talk and say it here, it's simple, and we have to do it on the pitch.
Tom, Reach.
Miguel, naturally there's going to be loads of hurt, you know, around the players and yourself, and I'm sure the fans as well are going to be really. That word doubt is going to start to creep into their minds. What can you say to them to encourage them to keep that belief in the fact that it's going to be okay?
Well, the more they can be with the players, and I'm going to be the first one to be very close to them, because this is nothing to do with attitude or desire. It's completely the opposite. It's part of football. What it could have gone wrong today, it went wrong, because when you look the way we conceded the 2 goals as well, without really considering any other situations, is very rare. But it happened, and it happened for a reason, and we need to react to that.
Athletic.
Hi.
Just on the phrase you mentioned about things happening again and again, one moment after the other, that, I guess, emotional management of the game, is that something you see as being able to be fixed quite quickly, or is it just
Yes, but if I ask them what we'll have to do now, what the game requires, they know it, but we weren't able to do it throughout the game, and it was in various sequences and a lot of times as well. So that's what we have to do better, but we didn't do it, and that's the reality.
Okay, we'll do the last couple. Hamza from the Times.
Rob Edwards mentioned that he knew and his team knew that the pressure would be on you guys. How do you feel knowing that other teams are trying to use that to weaponize against you?
Well, I mean, that's an obvious thing, no? If you are at the top and you have to win, you have to win and win and win. So that's nothing new. Everything will be like this from the first game when they play Arsenal.
Okay, final one here.
I imagine a painful result. We saw a few frustrated players towards the end of the game as well. How do you pick up your players now and lift that morale going into what is such a big game on Sunday, but also the final 11 games of the season?
I think we need to go through the pain, and you need to go through that, looking in the mirror and understanding that what the game requires now and the next action is on Sunday. That's it. Anything that we say from here today, it's fine. But we need to keep all that in our tummies to show it on Sunday. That's what we have to do.
Okay, thanks everyone. Good night.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, that was Mikel Arteta in his press conference, as we had to say today. And look, I do echo some of the sentiments that he said. The performance, the passion, everything was just not good enough today. It was not what we as a fan base deserve. The excitement that it's just amazing. The roller coaster of emotions that this football club puts us under is actually quite crazy. Like, if you really think about it, like, after the Sunderland game, which was 2 Premier League games ago, we went 9 points clear at the top of the league with Man City to go to play at Anfield. And we were all out here singing, and we thought, this was it. This was it. And, we played, there were 2 games that they played that they won both games without us being involved in. And I was like, you know what? Everyone's going too far here. Then that Brentford result happens. That type of performance away from home was bad enough. I was upset with that, especially in that moment. And then we followed up with a great FA Cup performance. Ruki, thank you again for being in here. We bottled today. Let me know, bro, what you think. I'm here. I'm just here. We're just chatting. Honestly, let me know what you think. Tell me more how you feel, and we can have a conversation back and forth on this topic. Yeah, man, it's that's how I'm feeling. But for me, like Ruki, answer this question. Like, what about the effort levels? I just feel like if we're nervous, just put them away. Like, I felt like we were jumping around. We were all over them in the opening parts of this game. And I feel like that's a theme in a lot of these games where actually we're starting out really, really well. We're not capitalizing on those starts, and we're not just demoralizing teams and putting them to bed. And then we just kind of let the game lull. And we're sitting there and I'm like, you know what? I think we're going to get this over the line anyway. But this weird lull in these games in terms of our intensity lets these teams back in these games. The response, by the way, to scoring goals in the last 2 games has been really, really bizarre for me. Like this one even more than the Brentford one. The Brentford one, we go up, okay, but Brentford is really, really tough to play away from home, and the pressure they brought on, and it wasn't like that was anything new. That was something going on through the game. But with the Wolves, I didn't see nothing. You know, Nkapia scores. That should be it. That should be done. And all of a sudden, by the way, Nkapia completely undoes his good work because he's at fault for both goals, in my opinion. So what I'm going to do next is probably, go through each moment individually and break them down. I think even maybe our positives. Uruki goes, we also can't sustain attacks. That's a problem which doesn't exist until Odegaard got injured last season. Yeah, I actually want to know what you think about that. You mentioned the Odegaard today, because I was having a lot of discussions about Odegaard's future, because, to see Saka start in the 10 again, for him to, again, immediate impact to come and score. And I thought there were times where he was threading in through balls as well. I thought there are times where we were playing really, really good football. And I was like, oh, man, this might be it for Odegaard, because Havertz has come in to play in the 10 and he's played better than Odegaard. Now Saka's come into the 10 and played better than Odegaard in terms of our attack, but then it just drops off. It's actually bizarre. And by the way, some of the substitutions, I don't know how Martinelli stays on the pitch the whole game, is something that's just crazy for me. Yeah, and it's because we can't, Rookie, so you say, and because we can't sustain attacks, we constantly are cautious because of it, and it still gets a lot of turnovers. Yeah, I don't know, but it's also the control factor for me. Like, they were games earlier on this season where we were keeping clean sheets, and, we went ahead, we got the goals that we needed to get, and then we were strong, and we were resolute from the back, and we controlled games through the midfield, through the defense, and like today, by the way, when that goal gets conceded, this is the scariest part. I would say our 5 best defenders, 5 of our 6 best defenders, I would say, were all on the pitch at the same time. Saliba, Gabriel, Nkapia, Calafiori, all on the pitch at the same time at that last sequence with Raya in the goal. That's what's scary for me. Like in times like that, I'm like, oh, we're missing, Gabriel, we're missing Saliba. And that's what makes me feel really, really bad. And from some time now, the whole team has been very passive in winning duels. Yeah, what the fuck is this, right? Like, I don't know what this is happening. And this goes. Let's be honest. I've been very, very nice, and maybe it's because at the times, Arsenal had shown me consistency. They showed me reasons to believe in them, that I overlooked it. But I go all the way back to the start of this run, which was the Liverpool game, the Forest game, the Manchester United game, the Brentford game, this game. Yeah, you're right, 100%. What has been going on? It's completely uncharacteristic of us. And then we turn around in the cup and in the cups and look good, or in the Champions League and look good. Yeah, and then those moments sort of make us like kind of forget, but like, you know what? Hey, we figured something out in this Wigan game. Maybe we can translate it across. And it looked like that for a bit, but it only lasts for a certain period of time. This is the main reason I need Odegaard to get back to his best. We buy another Metro. Yeah, 100%. And I don't even want to think about buying players right now. That's the crazy. I was talking about selling Odegaard and making a profit and all that type of stuff. And I'm like, and then the game starts to go away from me, and I'm like, oh man, what am I doing? Like, there was a stat the other day that said Arsenal played 40. By the way, big up to Mark. Thank you again for commenting. Everyone getting involved, and suddenly the chat is coming to life. There was a stat the other day that said Arsenal had played 40 games already compared to United, who only played 40 games max. Yeah, look, to be honest though, bro, I have given no room for excuses for this team because of the squad depth that we have. And today, I don't know about you guys, put your hands up, but were you not happy with the lineup? I was excited about the lineup. And it translated to a great start to the start of the game. It's the finishers for me that let me down today rather than the starters. It's the way, to be honest, I wasn't very happy with Trossard's impact when he came on today. I wasn't happy, of course, with Calafiori's impact. I mean, that was a shocker. That was absolute shocker. I almost feel like, and again, in Capier, despite putting us 2-0 ahead, completely undoes everything because I thought he was shambolic in the closing periods of the game. And not just that, we got Declan Rice. Actually, he was in the club. I'm going to look on the thing. He was on because the whole thing goes by for me like a blur, if I'm honest. Rookie's, I'll be reading in a second, but the whole thing goes by like a blur. So let's go through the substitutions. Again, I'm going to go back through some of these moments and we'll talk about them. I'm going to actually watch some of the highlights in the background and then we'll discuss. All right. So Trossard comes on 73rd minute. Who comes off? Nani comes off. That's fair enough. Saka comes off. Gyökeres comes off. So Rice, Zubimendi, Nkapie, Gabriel, Saliba, Timber, and Calafiori. I didn't even mention Timber in terms of players that were there in the closing stages. All on the pitch. The best defenders. There are not the best midfielders. The holding midfielders. There is no excuse for this. I'm sorry. That makes me actually more upset than anything. Seeing those names. So Gyökeres, Saka comes off because he's got a bit of a knock that he suffers. Gyökeres comes off. By the way, Gabriel Jesus, whenever he comes on in place of Gyökeres, we lose control of the games. I've noticed this by the way, across all of these games. He's off the ball work is shoddy, and we should not be. I hear people, I don't get how Gyökeres made it that long. I'm like, well, don't blame that. When Gyökeres comes off the pitch, I believe it's still 2-1. Absolutely shocking. When you build a squad on dual dominance like how we have and fail to do that, it's sickening. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Our midfield isn't overly superior technically, and we aren't over physical either, but dual dominance all around is what we built on, and we can't seem to do that. Yeah, I know. That's what's really confusing me, Rookie. Like for real. Mark, thanks again for the comment. Saka getting injured mess it up as Nani would have stayed on with Martinelli going off instead, which could have been a different outcome. Yeah. I would have sacrificed Martinelli. I honestly would have sacrificed Martinelli. I mean, the fact that for instance, to be honest, when we were 2-0 up, I thought he was our worst player. I thought he was having a really bad game and the areas he runs into, which kind of denies us the ability to be threatening. He kind of runs out. He runs the ball too much, or again, his dribbling with his head down thing, and he's not watching where he's going, and he keeps his head up, and have got runners for days. We got options. We got potential to really, really kill them off, and we're not doing it. Both the most two bizarre games this season have been home and away against Wolves. We won 2-1 in the first game, and we all were feeling underwhelmed on that day. Let's not forget. And today, it's like as if it's the same thing. And I'm sitting there like, what the hell is going on? This is Wolves. Before we played Wolves, I'm like, okay, I actually am happy because we haven't played Wolves yet this year. We got Wolves twice this season. That's their 10th point of the season. We are the team that put them into double digits figures this year. Anyway, I'm going to go on. I'm going to watch in the background here. I'm just going to do the what stands for, which is the streaming service that I have for the Premier League. I have got in the background for their short things, and we're going to break through, and we're going to break down to the moments, as well as we go through it, and including the starts. Let's start from the beginning of the game. So here's the opening goal. Rice, magnificent ball. Saka makes a great run. I believe was it Arukadare it was Mane who's behind him, kind of sleeping on that. By the way, that is a world-class delivery before of anything else. Let's go back onto the positive just to uplift up. World-class delivery from Rice. World-class delivery from Rice. The instant impact of Saka. I actually love the fact that playing Saka in a new position kind of, I feel like, has brought him to life in a certain respect. I think he's still a shining light. Let's forget about how today, I would not put today on Bukayo Saka. As Mark puts it rightly. Wait, let's take what's the timing on that? When Saka comes off, it's minute 73 when Saka comes off. But regardless, man, we should be at least winning this thing 2-1. That last sequence we're going to play through, because to be honest, I was just writing through group chats at the time because I was, it's actually silly kind of the stuff that happens behind the scenes in the YouTube community. We're just sitting there like chatting our shit, and the game is still on the line. But yeah, look, and again at that point I'm like, Arsenal, this is going to be easy. Saka, that was a great finish. So this is now her moment. 7 minutes in the game. Wolves give the ball away. Gyökeres again. Nice ball, Martinelli. Rice should have been 2-0. He misses the target. So at that point, I'm like, wow, okay, we are literally running right through them. Gyökeres again. By the way, anybody telling me Gyökeres was having a poor game is wrong. Madueke had a shot, and Martinelli absolutely scuffs this chance. It comes right to him. Sa is off balance. He's just made a save. Another instance of Gabriel Martinelli. This is 2 straight games where it was literally on a plate for him, and he completely scuffs it. Yeah, we need to talk more about that woeful Timber performance. Rookie, hang on, stay with me, because after I go through this, we're gonna do player ratings for whoever is available there in the chat. I want to go through all the players today. We're gonna do player ratings on the game, and we get to talk about everybody. I feel individually for who was started and who came on, everything. So don't go away anywhere, buddy, because we have all got that covered. But yeah, I'm still going through some of these highlights. But that moment for Martinelli, again, that's on 17 minutes. So again, that should be 3-0. This is the type of shit that we're... Madueke, by the way, I had a question about that potentially being a penalty shot, this missed header. Yeah, the challenge there disturbs Madueke, but again, I think that would have been harsh. Again, here we go. This is the injury time. Wolves' first real chance. Andre takes a shot from outside the box, which just misses the target. This should be, by the way, your first warning sign. And then here is the end. Saka's breaking away. He does really good to notice the man coming from behind him, and then he starts to take it wide. Plays it in for Rice. And there should have been a penalty for Nkapie. That, for me, 110% should have been a penalty. And the way that people were talking about that, ridiculous. Well, let me know what you guys think. Rookie, do you think in the first half incident, what do you think? Should Nkapie have had a penalty? For some time now, Timber's higher up in the half spaces never works. Bro, we're going to get into this, Rookie, because I actually got to say, I think it's time for Ben White. I think we've been playing better in the games Ben White plays, and I think he did better in terms of our attacks as well. All right, so yeah, that should have been a penalty shot for me. Looking at that, Andre comes in from the back. He clips his heels. I think he clips the heels of Nkapie before he gets to the ball, and then they're all complaining about Nkapie going down. I understand why we put our fullbacks in the half spaces. Difficult to track, and it's how Nkapie scored. But whenever Timber does it, he fails. Yeah, Look, Timber to me is a much better defender than he is going forward, isn't he? Look, but it's interesting because at Ajax he was, and even when at the start when he first joined Arsenal, I thought he was really, really lively going forward. Like he was a bit of, he was just very electric going forward. There was a bit unpredictability about him. Sometimes I felt like he was having an extra winger, an extra outlet on the pitch. Yeah, especially this year as this season has progressed, he has been a little bit of a liability in terms of our build-up play. He doesn't offer you what Ben White offers you, and his crossing is not to a good standard at all. But I do think that is something that does need to be talking about. Mark, big up to you. Everyone is entitled to their opinions about the team, and if they feel it's best with the depth. But my opinion is that we're still some players off. Look, it could be the truth, and I think all will be told at the end of the season, Mark, for me. Like, it's a tough night for me, but we're still top of the league. We're still, in the final of the Carabao. I feel I will hold on to these facts, by the way, until they're no longer true. And I said it to Terry on the terrace, like, this is the inflection point in the season. It's either time to wake up now before it's too late. Because I still don't think that City is going to be perfect. We go away to Tottenham, as bad as everything is feeling, and Tottenham is the one opponent that I know that we will take no prisoners in, and we will have no sympathy in. That we will not going to have this lackluster performance for me. I said, maybe, we don't really want to empty out the gas tank today. It's Wolves, because let's have the balance of having to play Tottenham in a few days, get out of here with 3 points without having to exert ourselves so much. But the problem is that it went too much in the other direction. And that for me is crazy, but we need a rebound by really, really sinking in at Spurs. I remember the Tifos earlier this year. I know I've never seen something like that again this season. Let's give that same energy going away to Tottenham. And, let's not let them, by any means necessary, give them the opportunity to give the back-breaking results to our season that I feel like tonight could have even been, to be honest. Rookie, he has drive in central areas, but if you want him, can you finish that? Want him to TU? He has the drives to the central areas like he did at Ajax, but in the half spaces, he simply doesn't have the awareness. Bang on, Rookie. Honestly, your ball knowledge is next level. Let's continue on with some of these moments. This is 52 minutes now. I believe this is. So Armstrong had a shot from outside the box. Again, another really worrying thing. And by the way, I want to introduce to everybody, and I'm very happy that I have got my boy Jake in here. Thanks for showing up, bro.
What's up?
You are always answering the bell. You are always answering the bell.
Hey, what's up, man? We just finished.
Honorary member, by the way, of Fire Them Cannons. Yeah, he's just finished his live stream. And yeah, so here's your chance, man. Cal's at work at the moment. I told him, like, by the way, Cal himself, I don't think doesn't have the energy right now to come on and talk. He was so distraught. One thing I'll tell you about my co-host, and he will obviously watch this back because we watch back all of these streams all the time, and I love him. I love him, like, honestly, as a guy, and one of my best friends right now on this planet. And yeah, sometimes Cal says stuff like, if we lose to Wolves, like, because he thinks in the back of his mind, this is never, ever, 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 ever going to happen. If we lose to Wolves, man, I'm done. And a part of Cal today actually believed that, where, like, when this result goes by, he goes, I'm sorry, guys. He, by the way, you're going to hear from Cal. He sent me his reaction in the shorts. So guys, be up for there. But he's actually, to be fair, he's working right now. And I messaged him like, I just feel like the people, we're all hurting right now. We all want to have our outburst, our venting session. And I'm like, you know what? I've got a platform here for everybody to do it. And so that's what we're here for. And without further ado here's my boy Jake in the house. We're just kind of going through some of the moments of the game, man. But I will put a pause on that just because you are in the building now. I just want to kind of get your thoughts, your feelings. Let's talk about anything. Nothing is off the table in terms of this discussion. There's no structure, nothing, right? I don't care how long this stream runs for. It can go run for another 5 minutes. It could run for another, I don't know. Like, I do have other things to do. I also have my own work to do. Obviously, maybe I'm going that too far with that. But yeah, let me know how you're feeling, bruv.
Well, obviously, yeah, I'm upset with the result. That was definitely not what I was expecting. And throughout the game, like, even, when we were texting back and forth, like, it felt like there wasn't any jeopardy in it. But then after our second goal, we scored and then hit the panic button. And what's really the takeaway for me that is really worrying moving forward is the fact that when we're up against it, not necessarily down goals, but when we're up against it in a game where the other team is kind of on top, the last couple of times we've start panicking, man. Even at Brentford, when we were supposed to be the team that was going on to try to win the game at the end of it, it was really even. They had chances, then we would have a chance. Then they would have it. And it's because we panic and don't play our game. How many times after the second goal that we scored did we just try to hoof it forward? And we were creating more 50-50 balls. But the problem was we had taken Gyökeres off. And so we didn't have the target man up top. It was Jesus, and he's not as good as Gyökeres at knocking the ball down. And so the ball was just going back and forth, and they were winning more of the second balls. But why do we stop trying to play through the lines? Mikel Arteta's whole thing, his whole shtick that he is the best at is control and game management. Why do we abandon that when the going gets tough? That's what I'm left with thinking. That's where I'm a little bit discouraged, is why do we abandon what we do best when
That's
the going
the
gets
confusing
tough?
part about the night. This is a fact I just labeled, Jake, right? This who's on the pitch. This is what scares me, honestly. And like for me, like Aston Villa, I was like, everyone's trying to get me to melt down then. And I'm like, look, you look how the players are out. Look who's in defense. Like there's so many get outs here where I'm like, I just feel like if we're at full strength, this shit never happens. But this is what's scary. So we make 3 changes, which is Gyökeres for Jesus, Saka comes off for Trossard, and Eze comes on for Madueke, right? But, Calafiori then comes on for Trossard when Trossard, I know, is limping. So he's come in and then he's come off.
I thought he went off because of concussion protocol.
Yeah, concussion protocol. Yeah.
Because he got elbowed in the face.
Yeah, he got elbow in the face. So this is who's on the pitch, though. Rice and Zubimendi are star-studded, world-class double pivot. Piero Nkapie, Gabriel, Saliba, Urian Timber, and Ricardo Calafiori, and David Raya.
Yeah, that's the best we can do, and it's
how,
and we're panicking.
How has Wolves? Sorry, the whole thing perplexes me. 20th of the table Wolves, who before tonight were on single digits total points throughout the season, 26 games into the season. Pierce that.
It doesn't matter who it is. That's what's so discouraging about it. It's because when any team, and honestly, I think it's a reflection of us. I think it's a pure reflection of us. And I mentioned it to Nez and Asif on our pod, how I think that we all panic when anything goes wrong. And I'm hold my hand up. I'm guilty of it as well.
Me too, but not to that much sense, because I'm always trying to be the guy just to calm everybody down. But yeah,
it's manifesting on the field, guys and girls.
I've been trying to warn people.
It's manifesting on the field.
People. Yeah. Do you know where this interesting for me? Like I was saying it, and everyone goes, "Shut up, Anton! Don't tell me how to feel. You're coping." Blah 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 blah. And I'm just keep saying, why? Before we kicked off against Brentford, we had our most previous game. All of a sudden, it seemed like, by the way, we had confidence. We had a 4-0 leads win. We had the 3 3-0 Sunderland win, which are our only 2 wins in the last 7 games, by the way. But in that period, everything's coming back to life. City's on the mat. They're right. They do come back to beat Liverpool, but I'm like, okay, fine. Fair play to them. You're alive. That for me was more about City. Is their season done or is it not? Right? And for us, from our point of view, it'd be like, all right, fine. Okay. They're not dead yet. They're probably 1 kill shot away. They're now far from that now. We've given them about 3 or 4 slip-ups, really, from being a kill shot now, which is crazy how far, it's come in 2 weeks. But we didn't played. They had 2 wins. Okay, then they beat Fulham. And everyone's like, whoa, this thing's slipping it away. It's down to 3 points. Are Arsenal bottling it? Like, bottling what? We haven't kicked a football. What are we bottling? But what happens? I get a report about Kai Havertz, which, by the way, the news is the news. If that's what's happened, you have to report that, whatever. But the reaction to it, oh no, crap, guys. Kai Havertz is out. We're not winning tomorrow. And that seeped into that Brentford game. And you probably should have seen my watch along with Cal. The output of emotions when Madueke scored from both me and Cal, we were so galvanized. We're like, yes, the roar. Because I felt like it was not even against Arsenal's performances, so to speak, but it was against all that narrative. So we can come out and be like, what guys, what the fuck are you guys all on about? Take a chill pill. Like, we haven't even played. But then the fact that then they went and they scored, and then the Martinelli chance, we couldn't win that game. We were outfought by them. That was embarrassing enough. By the way, Rookie, I see you with all the messages. You're going to get to every single damn one of them because I respect you like hell, bro. You've been here the whole time, man, and supporting the channel. So and by the way, you always have good things to say. But okay, that was bad enough, right? But then you have the Wigan game, and you're like, okay, we're trying new things. We've now put 4 past Wigan with ease, and of course, maybe in retrospect, it was like a heavy lifter doing a 5 kilogram or whatever 5 pound curl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're going to get relegated this season
from League One. Yeah,
from League One. Yeah, it's not good.
But today, the team that's going to get relegated from the Premier League, and I've eliminated from the tiers. That's what fucking hurts me the most.
That they're not even in the tiers.
Eliminated from the tiers before the first time we played them.
And we didn't manage to beat the. And what burns me up actually is they were still on par with the worst team we've ever seen in Premier League history.
They're 1 point off now.
But we gave them the point that proves they're not Derby.
Yeah. By the way, both of our performances against them this year. 2 of our most lackluster performances, actually, I would say the 2 most lackluster performances in terms of energy this season, home and away against Wolves.
I literally think after 8 minutes, we got complacent and thought we were going to annihilate them because we scored 8 minutes in.
Yeah, but exactly. That's for me. That's the thing. When I played ball, I played ball mainly when I was in high school. I played basketball. I played soccer. Two sport athlete, right? And when we were playing a really shit team, we were like, okay, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna try stuff on the ball. Let's be a little bit more, express ourselves a bit more. We're gonna play a bunch of ball. Let's see how many goals we can score today. That's the way you do it. Not, we don't really need to do much. We don't need to fucking score. Dude, put 7 down their ass in the first 30 minutes of the game and then rotate. I'm not even kidding. The way we cut through open, I'm rewatching some of these moments. This team was not defending. This team allowed us to have whatever we wanted.
Dude, they were all over the place. They were all over the place. And we didn't take advantage, man. And I understand what you're saying. I went to Academic Magnet High School. Shout out the Raptors. And we were small, really small school. And in South Carolina, I went to high school in South Carolina. The way it works as far as classification is by size, and my school is really small. And so I played, but we still had a really good team because we pulled from students from all around Charleston. And so the team was the sports were still really, really good. And we played against 1A schools, small schools who were terrible, who were awful. And we were putting up 17s. We were putting up 15 nils, 6 regularly because our coach did not let us let up. There was no ruthless killing mentality because when we went to state and to the playoffs, we were playing good teams that needed that kind of mentality to beat them. And you know what? We never did. I never actually won a state championship. I lost in the final twice, and so we didn't necessarily have the mentality all season long because we were putting up 17s because the team was terrible, but we also didn't necessarily take it seriously every single time. We played one time against a team called Branchville, and we had to drive out into the middle of nowhere to play this team called Branchville. And normally we would destroy them because their team was made up of football players and baseball players and people like who were not soccer players. We were all soccer players, and we normally destroyed them. Like at our place, we beat them really badly. But there, one time, we got to halftime at 0-0. Oh, we got chewed out, man. We got absolutely chewed out. It was one of those Sir Alex Ferguson, it's only Spurs moments, a hairdresser treatment, and I feel like sometimes not even just Arsenal, Man City have been the ones that have been, complacent and been, kind of guilty of that. Today, I think that's what hit us. It's like, look, okay, Wolves are terrible. Everyone is saying we're going 7 clear. Everyone is saying we're going to win. And then 8 minutes in, we go ahead and go up 8-0. Like you said, like the text you sent me right after Saka scored, the different thing that we're trying today, it's already working. Saka had a good game in the 10 role. The thing that we're doing, it's working 8 minutes.
Yeah, whether we believe that's the right thing or not, I think we agree on like the premise of, right?
Yeah. And then we just decided that, okay, the rest of it's just going to happen. The game, there was still 80 minutes to play, guys. And we got punished for it. We got punished. And for me, it's here.
Yeah, but you know what? You know where the here is? It's all the open spaces that they gave us I'm trying to find a description word because every time I come to these moments, I don't know how to describe it. Incoherence. I don't know what it is. Just bizarre. Like
profligacy.
I'm looking at this. I was just watching back a few times in the first half. I'm going to go back to these moments again. So here we go. This is after this minute number 7. Okay. I'm just going to describe it for you on my screen now. They give the ball away. Gyökeres picks it up, gives it to Martinelli, and Rice is running at the defense. By the way, I'm actually now looking as I pause the screen. Saka is running into open spaces. He's, by the way, going to blitz Andre to the post. He'd be way onside. Gyökeres is trying to then overlap Rice down the left. But Rice takes a touch, right? And shoots and misses the target. Now, by the way,
both Nelly and Gyökeres are wide open on the left-hand side with all kinds of space. I know exactly.
Martinelli also wide open. Saka is running wide open down the middle. Play that ball through. I actually say play that ball down your side to Gyökeres. He's going to take that one and he's going to blast it to the corner. Play that one even to maybe Martinelli don't trust right now, to be honest. In these spaces, maybe not, but even still there, play the ball down the middle to Saka. Thread it. Now, the choice to shoot isn't a bad one either. The shot is weird. It's like, come on, Rice, I've seen you bury that one before.
Trying to curl and didn't get on it.
The keeper gave the entire other side of the goal by the completely open. So he shoots the side where the keeper is standing. But it's like, come on, if we're literally having fun in this game and we're reading this game correctly, that's a goal. That's 2-0. Right? But even that's when we've just gone one up and you're like, okay, we can have a field day on this. But that's not even the worst one. So this one, Gyökeres comes in. This is minute 16. Madueke curls a shot and Martinelli, it falls to his lap. The keeper is fucking giving it to him.
Yeah, I was screaming, put your foot through it. Smash that into the net. What's with this mamby-pamby little touch?
Little tiny chicken legs.
Into the net. Yeah,
I got like Martinelli gets nervous, gets these little chicken legs. Like tippy tappy. Shoot!
Smash that. Just put your foot through it. Lean sideways. You're Brazilian, bro. I know you know the technique. Lean sideways so you don't sky it, and smash that into the net. It's an open net. Yeah, I was holding my head. I was like, oh.
Oh.
It was the same thing at Brentford. How many gilt edge chances? And no, that game was even. That game was definitely even. But how many chances did we have? We had like 3 absolutely in the box. Like Zuby doesn't shoot in the 6-yard box. You're trying to pass it. Dude, smash the ball into the net.
Dude, I'm going to tell you about the season that Jose Sa has had, by the way. He started as the starter, lost it to Sam Johnson, won it back, lost it to Sam Johnson again, won it back. He's been replaced 3 or 4 times this season. He, by the way, used to be a really good, decent Premier League keeper. His confidence is shot. And you can tell that his positioning today, still, that his confidence is shot. I give zero credit.
It's like Ramsdale last season.
I give zero credit today. If Jose Sa had a blinder of a day and we had intent and we were shooting things and somehow we were just keeping everything out. Which, by the way, his co-worker or counterpart, Sam Johnson, we played in the Emirates, actually did have that. Yeah. Right? Jose Sa does not. We literally fucking are just have so much open spaces, and we should just be a lot more direct and a lot more confident in what we're doing. And it's just like, what is it like? It's like
the best example
drunk.
Is the second goal. The best example is our second goal as far as what was going on tactically. That space that Nkapie ran into to score was there all day.
I literally just
long
that Rice
sides.
One. Rice could have had a goal. Right.
Sides. We should have devastated them, and that's what worries me is because we don't have that. Okay, we need to win every game 4-0. That's the mentality. And when we get to 4-0, like we did versus Wigan, then you can find some complacency when you're up 4 goals. But when you're going to try to win a title and sometimes every goal counts, Aguero. Sometimes every single goal counts, and you're going to show complacency up 1-0. Up 2-0. Come on, guys. That has to be erased.
I'm gonna get to some of Ruki's comments because big up to Ruki. He's filled up my chat with comments. He goes, "I'm not worried though. We will still win the league." Yeah, you know what?
Maybe tomorrow we'll be able to come back to it.
I don't know. It's so hard. To be honest, this team, man, and the stuff that Cal was telling me, and I was saying,
we have no choice. We gotta go again, bro. North London Derby in 4 days. We gotta pick ourselves up and go again.
In terms on a personal note, and I said this to Jake when I was chatting to you in our WhatsApp chat. These are the toughest days to be YouTubers. It's easy to come on streams when Arsenal have won, when Arsenal are looking like we're walking the league, and I come on all the shows with all the chest and all this stuff, right? There are a lot of people when their teams aren't doing well, even myself, you have that, I can feel, I laugh at a lot of people who don't show up when they don't win. And sometimes I'm just like, people are hiding, but sometimes it's just like, you're just so upset and you have something to uphold, the persona to uphold, and you don't want people to see you in those moments. You don't like, it's like the two type of people, either they want to see you and all of a sudden you're toxic and you're vile and you're making rants that go viral, like, you know, back in the old day, like Troops or DT used to do on AFTV, right?
Right.
That's that way to go down to, or you just don't show up at all, right? Or and for me, it's like today on the football, I had to go on the football terrace, and Terry's calling my name. I'm like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Fuck, please don't call me yet. I'm not ready to figure out what I want to say.
And he calling you first.
No, second.
Second.
After listening, by the way,
I skipped Brandon on first. I just skipped to you so I can see what you said.
He puts Brandon on first, right? And if anybody's going to calm me down, it's not Brandon. He goes to the opposite direction, which of course Terry's done that on purpose because we've lost and he's capitalizing on on that, and that's very smart strategy. But for me, sitting backstage, I'm like, oh, I can't follow up Brandon. Because you know what always happens when I follow up Brand? If I went first, I would have given you more how my passion and my anger a little bit, and then kind of brought it down a little bit and brought it down to earth and try to put things in perspective. Instead, I'm defending the team because Brandon has just come on and shat on us.
Yeah, just absolutely lambasted it.
But he lost me. He said, "I'm surprised Gyökeres made it past 60 minutes." I'm like, bro, if Gyökeres makes it to 90 minutes, the structure comes out of the team when he goes.
I agree completely, man. And the fact that we don't adjust what we're doing when Jesus comes in, and they're still hoofing it long is infuriating.
Yeah, absolutely. We keep going with these comments, but I will say if we want to start sustain attacks again, it seems we need more physical midfield or a serious. Rookie, you know what? One thing is I feel like our midfield is built on physicality. At the moment, what I feel like what we're missing right now is actually cutting edge.
You know what it is.
Creativity.
And it's something that Asif and Nez were saying to me on our show, that we don't have the guy. Last year when Salah was the guy when Liverpool won, they just scores goals. The guy to look to. We don't have the person to, like Thierry Henry used to do, and I know we can't compare anyone to Henry because he's just like by himself. But what I'm saying is, when we're in the dumps, there should be guys on this team, in this squad. Some of them should be able to do this, but when we're in the dumps and up against it, we need somebody to pick up the team by our bootstraps and be like, look, we're not losing today. F that. F them. We're not losing today. Give me that ball. I'm going to go put in the net right here. Give me that ball. I'm putting in a dirty pass on a plate for somebody right here, right now. We're taking this by the scruff of the neck, and we are not losing this game. We need somebody to step up and be that for the run-in. We got to.
Look, to be honest, you make a great point because there are players that I thought were that. But when we get into these moments here, and I'm like, we have a lot of really good players. We have a lot of people who I believe on their day are capable of that. Saka, by the way, steps up today, scores a big goal to start off the game, right? I think one of the things that I think while we're switching Saka's position, he's being good, he's also coming back from fitness. So he's come off at halftime of the Wigan game. I think maybe because we're just preserving him. We're 4-0 up. He comes off in this one, limping off a little bit at 73 minutes. And then we got this Tottenham game on the weekend.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be the guy who does that. Victor Gyökeres for Sporting Lisbon has been that guy over the last 2 seasons, whether people want to tell me Portuguese league or not. He's led them to 2 back-to-back titles, which, by the way, they hadn't in a long time, scoring an insane record-breaking amounts of goals across, just talking about across
He was
Portugal,
leading goal scorer in Champions League.
In the world. He was leading goal scorer in the world.
Last season, he had the most in Champions League.
Yeah, for 2 years, right? So he's a candidate. Eberechi Eze has been the star man for his team, won them the FA Cup.
He was.
I got Martin Odegaard, my captain, apparently supposed to be. Declan Rice, by the way, can do it, but he's a central midfielder. Like I think he does do it in his way, but that's not his way. You need, Liverpool's got Van Dijk's and they've got McAllister's and they've got Salah's, they've got Allison's. I mean, you can't expect Rice to be all of them.
Let me ask you a question that they asked me. I actually asked Asif because Asif, the Liverpool fan, he mentioned that we didn't have real leadership out there tonight. And I asked him, I said, when Saka came off, who did he give the armband to? And he didn't know. He didn't even know. And so the point is also, like, who stepping up?
Gabriel?
It was
Rice?
Gabriel. No, it was Gabriel.
Okay, yeah.
It was Gabriel. And Gabriel is one of the main ones that starts to panic. Right?
Which is by the way weird.
Which is crazy.
And he was doing a little bit in the Brentford game. They almost got sent off against Brentford.
And so where is the leader that's stepping up? And that's why for me, and I know you may disagree, I think that there's been an Odegaard-sized hole in our team. and him becoming in and out, not having full fitness, not having an actual run to lead the team through a whole run of games, I think we've missed it. And maybe it's not necessarily just that it's Odegaard himself. Maybe it's we've missed someone who has the armband consistently, that is putting in the performances consistently. And that's why I think there's going to be a lot of noise that Rice should get the armband.
Yeah, there is going to be a lot of noise. And look, me and you had our own private chats earlier today, so you kind of know how I feel on that. But again, maybe this opens the door right up for Odegaard, because maybe if he comes in, he starts against Spurs, we have, he shows leadership and he gets us back in the right direction where the other boys weren't able to when in his absence.
Somebody do it. I don't actually care who it is, but somebody's got to do it.
Somebody has to. It's actually getting crazy. But if Odegaard is not at his best, we need to sign a metronome in the summer. I actually kind of.
I'm not sure what he's saying with this metronome comment. What's he saying?
Yeah, metronome.
I don't really understand it. I mean, I know what a metronome is.
Very intelligent man, clearly.
But maybe he's talking about just to keep us ticking, because that's what a metronome does.
What's the definition of a metronome?
It's something that
a device used by musicians that marks time at a selected rate by giving a regular tick. Okay, so it keeps you ticking.
Tick, tick, tick. Yeah,
I think that's what he's saying. That is what Odegaard does. Zubimendi is meant to be doing that, by the way. That's literally what we brought him in, right? Tempo setter. That's exactly what we brought him in. Zubimendi, we'll get to player ratings in a second. Then I do have to hop off.
But I think the thing is that Odegaard comes into Zubimendi's space a whole lot.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons why Odegaard isn't. Again, Odegaard's hurt right now, but I think that there's something to that as well. It has gone so direct these days. Meanwhile,
it's because Gyökeres is there. We have more confidence he can win.
Odegaard isn't in it mentally, in my opinion, as I feel he's too worried about getting injured as he did at the beginning of the season and could miss the World Cup. Facts.
This is an interesting point. Very interesting point.
Very good observation.
Sure. And there's going to be a lot of that across the whole league. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we need to do that. The best I've seen this team is when they play highly structural control football. We need to get back to that. See, that's exactly what I said while I was sitting here by myself and talking. For all of the weeks at the start of the year, and even that time we were worried about the attack, through December, through the month of December, we're all like, oh, what are we going to do to fix the attack? What are we going to do to fix the attack? And yet we were winning, because we had that base, that structure, that ability to control games. And what has been missing even today?
Oh,
It
definitely.
was missing against Brentford, and it was alarming to me then.
It wasn't there today.
I'm trying to figure out what this lull is in the middle that made us all feel uncomfortable. And I'm sitting there like, it's fine. Wolves, they're not going to do anything about it. Right. I kept saying that to everybody. And this lull that we're feeling, that we're kind of having a hard time putting our foot on, is lack of control. And sometimes we need to realize what control is Barcelona, Pep Guardiola side, Barcelona, Vicente del Bosque.
Spain 2010. Spain 2010 World Cup. They won every game 1-0.
You 2-0 up? Pass.
You couldn't get the ball
small. That's when the pass back and forth, side to side. That's where it works. The Wolves won't touch the ball. I swear they won't touch the ball. And if they try to, it's going to be a foul.
That right there is what
pass.
What baffled me the most.
It's inappropriate times when we're doing that, when we're chasing, when we need the goals. When we have the goals in the bag, we back off. Sometimes the best defense is the best.
How is Wigan not the blueprint? We blitzed them and then we relaxed.
Well, but you know what? These conversations are so good to have, because at least we're saying something constructive rather than just having our reactive, emotional, trying to come to and by the way, I do this sometimes. I don't know why. I feel like I need to do it. In group chats, I write, tile's done. Congratulations, Pep. All this. I think did I write that to you?
You sent that to me, yeah.
Yeah, I did.
I didn't respond to it.
I sent that to a few people. Yeah, I know. Yeah, very mature man, married man. You know, like
I
he
had
knows.
my meltdown when it happened. I slapped the microphone. I did the whole thing. I
Oh,
had
you?
my
I want to go
meltdown
back
when
and
it
watch your
happened.
what? You had a watch along at the time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go back and watch that. Oh my god!
And something I've been doing, I've been putting my match. I just been doing my match reaction right at the end of my watch-alongs, and then like cutting it and releasing it later. You know, so like I got all my invective out at the very end of my watch-along.
Yeah. I don't think we needed the best I've seen this team is when they play highly structured control
we
football.
just did
Did
that
we
one,
say
yeah.
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
The physicality needs to improve. Yeah, which is bizarre. I go back to the players that were on the pitch. The most physical players, but like physical and class, like mixed in between, that we've relied upon the whole year. The crazy thing about this is that you can't scapegoat one individual today.
No,
I've seen people try to do it.
Nobody
And
said was there.
I've seen people make attempts at scapegoats, and I think they're right wide of the mark. Like I saw somebody scapegoat Gabriel Jesus. I'm like, Gabriel Jesus is what he is.
What?
Like, and by the way, I agree with some of the premise because I do feel like Arteta puts on Jesus in moments we need to control games, and people don't understand Victor Gyökeres and don't appreciate Victor Gyökeres is that go back to that run, 8 games without clean sheets. Who's starting at the striker in all those games? Minute he's not there, Marino comes in. That's when we could start conceding goals away from home. By the way, our away performances this year have been under the radar, shocking, and we're not talking about that enough. I'm talking about across the board against, regardless of the opponents. We're talking about Wolves. We're talking about Brentford, Sunderland away, Villa away, Chelsea away. I can just go up and down the list, man. I was defending it for a while. You know, it's the last game of a long week. There's no defending today. We're in between a Wolves game where 9 of those boys got rotated.
Yeah.
The 2 that did
excuse.
play, like, you know, Matt Nani kept his place, and somebody else kept his place from the last game. It was also started today as well.
I know Matt Wake's been on a run, but he was shocking today.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was everything that we know he is, and I'm not gonna like pile it on him because that's what he is. He can beat his man, but then he really struggles with the next step, and that's what we saw today.
Okay, where are we with the rookies' comments? But we were just talking about. That's very true. He doesn't want to miss Norway's first World Cup in a while.
No.
Yeah, again, I think that's a bit over. I was actually thinking that I would love to see him. Did I say that to you? I'd love to see him actually have a good World Cup playing with Holland, so his value goes high, so I can sell him. But that was
you said that to me. Yeah, you said that to me.
I did. Look, a lot of this stuff. Look, people
It got under my skin a little bit.
I did a little bit. Yeah, I know. You just like my brother. My brother hates when I go onto the. I'm not even an Odegaard hater. I sometimes
get it.
Like
it comes from wanting the team to win. I get where.
Yeah. Our adaptation to the insane physical mental elite has been to go more direct, but in my opinion, it's been the best to rather persist with. You know what? Rookie makes a great point. A lot of us, I feel like, have gotten in the way. Where things that we complain. This is my problem. We complain about Arsenal being boring when it's successful and we are getting results. And then we're not scoring enough goals. Why aren't we direct enough? And then when you go there, obviously, everything comes at a price. So when you're not doing one thing, you have to give up something else to do that one thing. And Arteta sees that.
It's called opportunity cost.
Right. It's opportunity cost. And that's what it is. So we're wanting to be more direct. Maybe you were trying to tell me that in our thing about Odegaard. You know, maybe that's something that Saka lacks, which is, you know, being able to press from the front in number 8 and being able to control the game. That's maybe a reason why he's not a 10, you know, by my natural, you know.
I mean, he might could develop that, but he could develop it, but right now, like, that's not where we're at. You know what I mean? That's not where, as a team, where we're at developing new things. You know?
Yeah.
But maybe, you know, he's a
the
good
trouble is
player.
after Saka's goal, they changed their formation to a back 5 and sat deep. We changed our formation to a back 5 way at the end. Like when Trossard came off. But yeah, no, I think we still we didn't go into our shell after Saka scored. We could have killed. We just didn't kill him off. We were just.
Yeah.
It was
agreed.
again. We kind of covered all that. Unnecessarily, that would mean we need to decrease our technicality in the midfield, but also become more dual dom. Again, Rookie, bang on. The problem isn't and has never been the chances, but sustaining attacks and being controlled. That's that for me. If you can sub up today, that's what it is. We scored 2 goals today, right? Sometimes in football match, especially the level of Wolves, that should be enough. It's about, and this is where we bottled the league in the 22-23 season, is that we have these leads and we're like, what do we do with it now? How do we close this thing out?
Which baffles me. It baffles me because we can pass teams to death.
Yeah.
We have that ability.
We do it when we fucking need to score goals, and then when we have that tool in our shed, and we don't fucking go to it when we need to use it at appropriate time.
It's inexplicable.
Gabrielle, can you elaborate that on?
He put that up when I was asking who got the armband.
Oh yeah, who got the card? White Saka Odegaard triangle isn't anymore. We got to bring it back. We do have to bring that back. We do. I think Tottenham away. We'll see what Saka is after this game. I think he's fine. I think Arteta was saying that.
No, he's fine.
Although Arteta's concern to the questions that I was watching in this press conference just now, which I played on the show, was nothing to do with injury. That's the last thing on people's mind right now. But yeah, I think we need to go back to that against Spurs, honestly. The trouble is with Wigan is they also now have the same change to a back 5 second half as we struggled to get clear shots on goal. Are you saying that Wolves switched to a back 5? Or
I think so. I think that's what he's saying, yeah. I think Wolves started with the back
we did
5.
go to a back 5. No, we went to a back 5 in the second half against Wigan at one point, though. We did ourselves. I'm trying to remember. All the stuff goes on. I'm so like my emotions.
No, but see
clouding.
the Wigan game after we stopped playing in the Wigan game, you don't really take any of that. All of that kind of comes with a grain of salt because we weren't. It was already done, and we weren't really.
See, this is alarming. Fruki said this about 7 times. Our physicality means, and this is our bread and butter. This is what's annoying me. He's right. We are losing duels. Since that 7-game period, we are losing duels. And Cal has said it over and over again, even like, and I just want to, and especially in the early part, in the Liverpool Forest part, I was ignoring that. And
why are we conceding late goals? Look at the points that we've dropped. Aston Villa, Sunderland. We concede late again.
Even by the way, even Wolves minute. The first time we were 1-0 up. United. Even Wolves, we were 1-0 up. Rukadare scores. We got bailed out because we got the own goal at the end.
We lost to Man U late on, and so
we didn't learn from our first game against them. By the way, that they go to the end. They are on 9 points. They got nothing to lose.
So here's the solution for me, Rookie. Why the hell did Norgard not come in for Zubamendi at some point today?
But I didn't even think about that. Didn't even think about that.
You want physicality? There it is. It's on the bench.
Calafiori. What? I still don't get the Calafiori swap. By the way, Calafiori couldn't even make it into the team at the start of the last game against Wigan.
Honestly, he didn't expect to have to sub Trossard. That's what that was.
By the way, I swear we win this game 2-1 if he doesn't bring on Calafiori, because Calafiori is completely like. You saw that he ends up in the back of the net. I want to play through that scenario, because I don't actually remember it. I just remember it going to the back.
I remember
going to the back of the net.
There was no Wolves player in shot, and David Raya punches Gabriel in the back of the head.
Okay, I'll go to look back at that. Especially when we get to our physical form, like back to the 90s. Look, I don't think the game is ever going to be itself by nature as physical as it was back in the 90s.
Too much. Yeah,
they might be shocking, but we're also top of the away table. This is a response to my talking about our away form.
Are we really?
That's man.
That seems hard to believe.
If we're on the top of the away table, everybody is doing awful away from home in the Premier League.
Yeah.
We need to improve our sports science and I think
Been
it's
screaming
there,
this for
hence
years,
why
man.
they remove players from the kickoff before kickoff. I think
Well,
it's
just
there
look-
to some point, but
Just look
Yeah.
at Robin Van Persie. Just look at Robin Van Persie, for example. And I know that's going back way far, but think about this. He was injured for 6 seasons running. Injury hit. As soon as he decided that he was going to get advice from doctors outside of the club, he had 2 seasons with no injuries. So I agree with this 100%.
you're saying they might be okay. I have a question. How many of our players? Okay, Groupkeeper, you're still here. We will answer the question now. How many of our players have benefited from this direct version of the team?
Gyökeres, because he's getting on the ball more.
Victor Gyökeres, yeah, that would be one. Noni Madueke,
Sure.
his performance. The Cal just gave him Player of the Week.
Yeah, I watched that. Yeah,
Havertz, but he's not here right now. Havertz has benefited.
definitely. That's a good one.
Martinelli should, but hasn't.
Here's the thing. When we are direct like that, we have to win the second balls. We have to win. And so the more direct balls we do, the more duels we create.
But my
the
thing
more
is that,
second
like-
ball situations we create. And if we're just battling like that for 90 minutes, we're getting tired at the end of games. And thus, Christian Norgard.
Do you know what this exposed today, by the way? And everybody laughed at me after the Liverpool game when I was saying it, and everyone was like laughing at me. How important it is that you have wingers that contribute off the ball.
Yeah.
That's where you lose your control. That's what Arteta, that's why Eze doesn't play for weeks, because by the way, Eze should benefit from being more direct, but that's another story. And he did against Wigan to a certain extent. But that's why Eze hasn't been getting into this team, because he was hooked, because he's like, nah, that Villa goal, that Matty Cash, sorry, bruv. That's not what acceptable for me as a left winger. That's probably why he hasn't played there since. So like, although I want it, and I think he's being retrained to be able to do that, but maybe, I'm getting really hasty a little bit about the Saka on the central, but that's what he brings you to the right that Noni doesn't, right? Again, Saka comes off, so again, I'm not saying like there's so many layers to what happened today, but it does highlight that Madueke, I've said for a while, does not good under his defensive shifts at all. From the way I see it, if anything, we have lost our metronome because he.
Continue the next one.
Yes, is what. Okay, our metronome isn't playing well because our current system displays his weakness. He's talking about Odegaard.
Odegaard, yeah.
Fatigue.
Yep.
Is what. Okay, was Mark.
Yep.
Was sorry. Our
Not
best
an
attacking
easy
player and creator is ball defeat type of player. And I have seen many times. But you know what? Fatigue can't be... I'm mean, going back to Mark's comment quick here. It can't be a physical fatigue because they're rotating the team in and out. It's mental.
There's that too. There is mental fatigue. That is
These all teams had a whole day off on the weekend. Our best attacking players and creator is ball to feet, a type of player, and I've seen him many times this season used as a hold-up winger. Trossard, right? Is that who you're referring to? Saka as well. With his right, he was talking about who's the guy. Remember you were saying who's the guy? With his back constantly, yeah, okay, he's talking about Saka. And all his direct football has brought other turnovers, meaning we are
That's what I'm
constantly
saying.
defending.
We're creating so many second ball situations. 50,
But at the same time, though, that part from the midfield to the defense should still be enough to control. I'm sorry, that has been the thing I've leaned on the whole season. But again, I keep going back and forth on this. I do agree a little bit. That's why people need to stop fucking trying to coach this team from. That's why a lot of times I'm always like, hey, you know what? This is what we do. This is Arsenal, and people freak out. I'll give you another example from my other sport. The Eagles won the Super Bowl last year with the tush push, playing ugly football, and everybody was complaining about it. Oh, the attack doesn't look good. The attack doesn't look good, right? Why doesn't Jalen Hurts run the ball as much as he used to? Blah, 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 blah. Why isn't he passing it to AJ Brown? Why are we running at the ball so much? Why is right? Hurts, I know everybody's going to get bored about what I'm saying, but I'm getting to a point. Hurts is such a bad quarterback. Why, his stats are so shit. They won a Super Bowl. The minute they tried to let Hurts out of the box and they started to commit to that stuff and they changed the offense coordinator, everything went out of whack because you went away
Nothing
with
worked
what
this
was
season.
working because we're worried about aesthetics. And I always keep saying when the media brings that up, they are trying to lull you into a trap. The media only brings that up with teams that they don't like and that they don't want to see win. And they're trying to find holes in their wins so that they're putting a little idea in your head that slowly over time builds. The minute the results start going your way, there's your input excuse, which is not even a real excuse. And then we start to overcook it. It seeps into the dressing room. It seeps into the manager. And then we start to overthink it. And when people criticize managers for being stubborn, it's actually a good trait because stubborn managers don't give a shit what the media says or what the fan says. They have an idea of what's working. Now, if you're losing, you're being stubborn, that's a different idea. But no reason to criticize a man for winning and being stubborn. And that's something that we need to kind of, again, the whole year I've been shouting out that at different times, you need to take accountability. The fans play just as much of a role in this as the players. And I feel like right now we're putting this out on the players. Now the players for me let me down today, but I think it's a thing to discuss. We got to get through. Let's get through some of these comments. Maybe I'll come back to some of them because I do want to get through. Let's run through the goal, and then I want to do player ratings, and then I gotta get out of here because I've got other things to do. I got to walk the dog and stuff like that because it's literally almost 1 p.m. and this game was at 7 a.m. for me at the start of the day. But yeah, it's just taken such a mental toll on me. I want to run through. Forget about all our months because at the end of the day we were 2-0 up. Oh, this is not I want to get to back to the highlights. It took me out of it for
the goals we conceded were about the space we gave to Hugo Bueno and to whoever crossed it in.
Yeah,
we can't give those spaces. I'll tell you right now, man. When we give wingers space, that's when we concede goals. When I texted you right before we conceded, we got to stop letting the crosses in. You remember that? And then we conceded from a cross like 3 minutes later. We have that is what we concede from is dangerous crosses, dangerous throw-ins into the box, into the mixer.
Here we go. 60 minutes. This is the goal that we conceded. 60 minutes. Okay. So from the highlight I'm looking here, it starts with Mane on the ball. He actually turns Madueke, plays it into, I believe there's the
Hugo Bueno.
Bueno's the guy who scores, but the striker that they got from Southampton, right?
Rukadare. Or are you talking about Armstrong?
Bueno's out on the wing, right?
You're talking about Armstrong.
Yeah, Armstrong, right. Bueno's out on the wing. He now receives it. Now from here, there's no way we're conceding a goal from here. That's actually nuts. So when Calpi is trying to run back, you got Zubamendi who's kind of like sitting here a little bit in between him and Gabriel. Saliba's kind of not ball watching, but he's looking at his man, but in the other direction away from the ball. Bueno takes a touch. Calpi just probably puts his hands behind his head. By the way, he's not blocking off any space. Maybe he's blocking off the near post. Bueno I gotta say,
it's a banger.
That's just a banger. I was about to try to find. Cal's watch it back.
He needs to get closer, but it's still a banger.
Yeah, it's a banger.
It's a good goal, and that's what I was saying. My point about that goal was, look, they're wolves and they're shit and they haven't been good. They're still Premier League players, and if you give them space, they can drop one on your head top, and that's what happened. Yeah.
All right, let's go to the. Unfortunate, by the way, I don't know why for a game against Wolves did I feel a stomach ache when I saw 6 minutes. Like I shouldn't.
No, I knew there was going to be a lot of stoppage time.
All right, here you go. So Bueno runs at Timber. Martinelli comes into play. Timber lets it go. Here's Mane. By the way, Mane plays a huge role in both these goals, even though he's basically been at fault for the first. Yeah. You're right. Mariah literally punches Gabriel at the back of the head. He's now moved ahead of Gabriel, by the way. This is dangerous.
It's a catastrophe.
For me to look at this pause, right? I paused it. Raya is advanced of Gabriel and Calafiori. Your goalie, by definition, needs to be your last line of defense. Why? Because your center backs can't use their hands.
Yeah, exactly. It's a train wreck, a catastrophe, a disaster of an
I'm going to
embarrassment.
say this right now, and Cal is going to hate me for saying it, and I said it at the time, and I was right. I second guessed myself. I said this is Raya's fault. This goal, Raya's fault. By the way, great ball for Mane. I gotta give credit where credit's due. It reminds me a little bit of Rice's way in the first half, right?
We can't let crosses. We concede
But
when we let
Raya just
crosses
needs to
in.
catch that. Catch it, fall down on your front. That's it.
About that, you noticed that Jose Sa didn't catch anything either. He was punching everything, and that could be. And
We're comparing the back-to-back Golden Glove winner to Jose Sa.
Come for me if you want. But perhaps the reason that neither were trying to catch the ball was of how crazy the rain, snow, sleet was.
Yeah, but first of all, I
both
think
of them. But
Gabriel,
yes,
looking at
Ryan's
Gabriel,
fault.
should not be. Gabriel's not positionally aware right now. He should not be in his goalkeeper's way.
Shout
If
at
Gabriel,
him.
if Gabriel,
Shout
yeah,
at him. Keeper,
Ryan needs,
keeper.
also needs to shout it. But if Gabriel's not there, that's a simple catch.
Yeah.
That's a simple catch.
It's a farce.
But then Gabriel drops back behind Raya. Gabriel, in this scenario, he's already fucked up in the first place. So he's been in front of Raya to begin with. Needs to charge down this no-name guy who he's on the side of my screen here, Tom Edozie, who I had no idea. He's not even on my not even on my spreadsheet.
He's a
not even on my spreadsheet.
Debutant. It's his first ever game. It's his first ever game. It's a debutant.
He's going to shit his pants if the
He's
best center back in the
19 years
world
old.
runs at him. Run at him. Don't backtrack. Run at him. Calafiori, I don't know what he's in. He's already in the net.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
I don't know what that is. And
It's
yeah,
a train-
it
like I said,
mispasses
it's a
Raya.
service. It was a
Here you go.
service.
Watch this. Mispasses Raya. By the way, Calafiori tries to karate kick it out. His positioning is bad. But this is again, that was my 3 different 4 points in this goal. I'm just looking at this. From back to my earlier point, if Gabriel is the one advancing, Raya's at the back, and the ball skips past Gabriel, which it probably will if he's trying to close it down anyway, that's a save for that Raya can make. The only reason why Calafiori is trying to karate kick it out of there is because he can't use his hands, as I said earlier. From a Mikel Arteta team,
It's a disgrace.
and by the way, that's where I'm going to end this. No more part of this goal because you know where the next part it goes in the back
It's
of the
an
net.
embarrassment.
From a Mikel Arteta team, that should never, ever, 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 ever in a bajillion years happen. And that's where I'm going to close off on this match analysis. Because
Yeah, no, that's about right.
where did this leave for you? And then we'll get into the player ratings and then we'll call it. Where does this leave you in terms of the context of our season?
I'm definitely gutted. And where it leaves me is something that I said that I believed when I said it 2 months ago. We're going to have to get a result at the Etihad. That's what it's going to take. We're going to have to put them down ourselves. That just is what it is. That's what it's going to have to take. And that's
First
where we're
and
at now.
foremost- first and foremost.
If they win their game in hand, it's a 2-point gap. So, and that's not till after the Etihad. So if we lose at the Etihad and they beat Palace, we lose the league. That's where it's at now. So we have to get a result at the Etihad.
For me,
what I'm left
before
with.
we get to the Etihad, we need to get a result at Tottenham.
That's true.
And these
but I'm
Tottenham
saying-
fans have been conniving and trying to plan their way to how are we going to be the ones that are going to step into Arsenal and stop Arsenal. By the way, they're the last points that City dropped, which frustrates me. And they knew that, and therefore they're like, well, we're going to have to try to make up for that by being Arsenal themselves. But beyond the Arsenal part, they're fighting relegation. They've got a new manager who, to be honest, should not be giving any confidence whatsoever. His record as a manager is dog shit.
Do you remember Juventus in the Champions League last season? That's
Yeah.
who this was. That was this manager.
Yeah.
They were terrible.
So we need to beat them. We cannot. I swear, this thing is going downhill if we drop points to them. If we drop
It's a
points to them,
massive-
even if it's a draw, if that's a draw, we are talking now with games in hand. City could go level with us on points after their game in hand, right?
Yeah.
Right now, it's going to be down. It's 5, but that's a false position. It's 2.
We'll assume it's 2. Yeah.
And you drop. We need to beat Spurs.
There's no more. There's no the cushion's gone. There's no more.
There's
cushion.
no. By the
There's
way, from an Arsenal point of view, from a work weight point of view, for a heart point of view, where we are in the season and the opponent that is coming up, I am not giving any excuses
none.
for a lackluster performance. Because I'll tell you this much: Tottenham is going to give you everything they got. Because regardless of the fact that they can spoil our year, they could literally, at this point, really spoil our year. They're in a relegation fight. They cannot lose. Or draw also. Maybe a draw against Arsenal at this point in the season is good, but not for us. And
That's a win for them.
man, I've been hearing what's her face, the blondie who's on DR Sports. She's been
Abby
planning
Summers.
Abby. She's been planning this. She's been talking about it. Even through her meltdown about the 2-door hire. You can tell her hair. She hadn't done her hair that morning. She's that pissed off, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's saying, let's do this. Let's be Arsenal. Amazing, you man. Mikel Arteta, Arsenal players, Arsenal fans. This hurts, but that will hurt way more.
So much more.
We will-
Much more.
We cannot allow that to happen.
We have to destroy them. Have to.
We have to. Eddie had, from a tactical point of view, where the league is, but right now we gotta. Maybe this is the mistake we've been making. Wolves, we thought was a guarantee. Even after the Brentford game, we were all thought, okay, well, surely we're going to beat Wolves. And you know what? I do this on the podcast. Whatever. Let's see. And Cal goes, no. It's Wolves. He did that twice to me, by the way, and not to dig Cal out. I never would, but. That's the type of dangerous talk I don't like to do, right? And it seeps into the dressing room. They've been shit against everybody else in the Premier League except for Arsenal.
Yeah, and this isn't one where I'm saying, oh, we're definitely going to destroy them 5-0. We're definitely going to win. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Destroy them 5-0.
That's not what I'm saying this time. What I'm saying this time is we must go there with the mentality. I don't give a shit what the score is. The mentality is to put them down, is to absolutely shit on this team. Whether that's in performance and we get a 2-0 where we don't get the goals, but we absolutely blank them. We need to absolutely blank them. No matter what the score is, I want a performance that tells the rest of the league that the wobble's done and we're here to stay. That's the kind of performance I'm looking for.
Yeah, 110%. Let's get some of these comments and then we'll do the player ratings as well. This is Mark going back on his away table. After 13 matches, Arsenal 25 points from away games. Oh, wow. Okay, well, I guess we are on 58 points in the season. That's what also Today I was sure I was going to see the nice 60. It would have been feel nice. You know what I mean? Anyway, by the way, the 90-point gap that I thought we were easily going to get past is not happening now. No, now our max is 91. That's if we win all of our games. 7 wins, 4 draws, 2 losses. Chelsea 22 points, Aston Villa 22. Okay. What is there to control when you constantly give the ball away? Yeah. And this direct football from Rai himself, we have come so direct when our best version is a highly controlled possession football. I'm wondering if you guys are leaving comments while I was going on about the last goal, because it's interesting to see some of you guys. No one watched our season last year. No one last year thought direct football was the answer. We needed to just improve our attacking areas and keep playing in the same way. Transitions were actually, I do agree. That's why one of the reasons why I brought Victor Gyökeres in, and I'm still not being seen him getting the chances that we're falling to Mikel Merino or falling to nobody last year when we were struggling at crucial moments like against PSG. Okay, this is actually, they only have 5 comments left. Transitions are a problem in our system last year and that before, but we definitely sustain attacks. If we keep playing that way this season, we will be so much better. Rookie just keeps talking. Also, let's check the stats recently. Raya's having his worst season statistically. Our XG conceded is 18.4, but we conceded 20 goals. And Raya's save percentage is 64%, which is a massive drop-off.
He's not
Also, his
facing
goals
many
prevented
shots,
in the
though.
negatives by our defense. Yeah, look, Raya hasn't really. Cal made him one of the contenders for Player of the Week in his video yesterday. When I was editing that thing, I can disagree. I can disagree with my co-host when he's not even on the screen for sure, right? Yeah, I was like, no way. Raya for me was a bit even shaky in the Brentford game that he played and didn't play against Wigan. But I agree with that. Let's do it. Let's start with the player ratings. I don't have graphics for all that right now because you don't have time and I got to end this stream quick. It's already 1:15. What would you rate Raya today out of 10? By the way, let me know, guys, in the comments.
Well, I thought he was doing all right, and then I did notice what he was saying, that we're hitting it long too much, and then after the absolute gaff, 6, maybe.
Oh, you're nice.
I am nice, I guess. Maybe a 5.
The absolute gaff for me plays. That's the difference between me sitting on here and being like, "Hey, we're 3 points, we move on." I told you, hey, this today is about getting the 3 points without exerting that much effort because we can save it for Spurs.
Yeah.
Because it's just like because they've shoved this in between we had the Brentford game and then a few days later had the Wigan game. I feel like that disappears because of the fact that we rotated so much. But Noni Madueke, I'm looking at a player who's basically playing every fucking 2, 3, 4 days now.
He is now. Yeah.
Right? This game was kind of sandwiched in between. And again, there's a small period of time before then we go on to play Spurs. I'm like, just get the 3 points. And if nobody can get injured, nobody can be so tired so we can really be able to give a go at Tottenham. And I concede. I was wrong. Right? But this is the difference between me saying that, good, we got who cares about the performance? It's 3 points, we move on, and not. For me, Rise a 4.
Fair enough.
Honestly, I'm seeing that replay right now.
I don't want to watch it again.
I don't even. That makes me feel sick.
I don't want to look at that
makes
again.
Me feel sick. Rookie's given Raya a 5. All right, Rookie's done all 4 of the back 4. Give me a player rating for each of Timber, Gabriel, Saliba, and Nkapie.
I would say Saliba probably. You could give him a 7. He did well. Gabriel started panicking for me, and I don't like that at all. I think he had some panicky moments at the end. And having the armband, you need to be the one that's not panicking. So I'll give him a 6. Nkapie, you got to give him credit for getting his first goal for the club. That's you like to see that, obviously. And he noted he was in there in that space a number of times. He was getting down the wing, trying to get crosses in. I like that 7. Yeah, I can go with. I don't know, man. I really don't like it when people don't close down the man. So I'm going to take a point off. I'll give Nkapie a 6. Timber gets a 3. I'm not sure I agree with Rookie on the 3.
Dude, I agree with Rookie.
Why is Timber such a poor? Maybe I missed it.
Yeah, no, he had a shot. He had a nightmare today. He had a nightmare in every aspect.
I thought he was
what he takes away from what Ben White offers, and by the way, I'm thinking about it. It hurts because there's in all these arguments saying that he is the best right back in the league. I've said it on so many debate shows, of fighting Chelsea fans on Reece James and Timber, and right now, Timber has not been good since this turn of the year.
Yeah,
I'm just going to be straight.
Much. He's underlapping a lot. He's getting into spaces where, maybe we could get Saka in those spaces more. I don't know, but yeah, okay,
yeah.
Maybe
again, but the thing is, some of the stuff is still fitness. Timber is out of shape. I mean, not White. He was cramped and he couldn't come off against Wigan. He'd come off against that's some of the issues that we are having that have been underlying and are not being looked at enough. We do have got depth, but when so many players are missing at certain points, then that kind of you're overexerting others, and it starts to take a toll. And then you're rotating in and out, and maybe you're not really necessarily. It's like when you play in FIFA or EA, whatever EFC was called nowadays. You want to have all your players kind of like on that bright green all the way to the end. Some of these players are starting their games as dark greens or even yellows.
Yeah.
And you have like 2 yellows. Like probably today you would have had Timber, who didn't play the game, probably would have been like a bright green, which is why today the result is unexcusable. But you couldn't have put Ben White in because he's probably a yellow. Like Ricky says, Timber was yeah, you know what? So for me, again, in games like the way we play in the second half, like, again, it clouds your judgment because that second half, because I do feel like a lot of times Wolves just didn't really threaten us at all. I'd say, yeah, I agree. Saliba probably a 7. He didn't do much wrong for me. Even in that goal, like the last one, I don't think the last 2 goals have anything to do with him. Gabriel again, yeah, I would say 6 is bang on. Nkapie, 6, even though he's got the goals, it's what's happened afterwards. It's like he undid his really good work. And Timber, I'm not going to say 3, I'm going to say 5. I'm going to say 5. Maybe because I'm a nice guy. And then I'm going to just usually people do subs at the end. Ricardo Calafiori comes on for me, gets a negative 1.
Yeah.
And that's nice.
That's fine. Yeah.
Like seriously, he was he lost the game.
Yeah.
He lost the game in his time on the pitch. He lost it for us.
Yeah.
Lost the control, like positioning in cloud some other world. He's not in Molineux Stadium. His body is, but his mind is. I don't know where
Cloud
it is.
Cuckoo Land.
Yeah, I don't know. -1. Yeah, and that was another defender came on the pitch. All right, midfield. Let's move into it. Rice and Zubimendi.
Rice, I agree with Ruki's 7. I think he's having to do so flipping much. I think he's having to cover a lot. He's having to do so much. I think he's getting gassed as well. But yeah, he's always putting in good performance. Zubimendi, I think that at times he is the one that's getting gassed, getting tired, and kind of getting swallowed up when we are panicking a little bit and we stop winning second balls in the midfield, and Rice is having to do it all on his own, which is why maybe Christian Norgard should come in at some point to help out in that double pivot. Yeah. So yeah, 4 or 5, yeah, that's fine.
To be honest, we'll get to Arteta at the end, but that's something that's a really good point. That's a really good point, man. From managing this game a little bit, I think he does need to take a little bit on the chin, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Look, again, Rice is probably our best performer again. I a bit nitpicky on the shot he missed and the options he could have made, but that's all kind of in the retrospect. Yeah, again, probably a 7. In a game like this, you can't give anybody an 8 or above. No, sorry, there's no way. So that's probably the peak. Zubi, I'm going to put him in the Timber category. I'm going to say 5 as well for Zubi. And then subs that came on today in the midfield. Eze.
Trossard wasn't even on enough to really do anything. He was on for 4 minutes and got elbowed in the face and left and went back out. So
yeah.
And Eze, man, I mean, 0. Like, what did you do? Like, he didn't really even show up, man.
I mean, he tried the shot after we went down to try to get us, and it just bizarrely like bounced around and went out for a goal kick or something.
I don't know. It's hard to judge when
it's
he
hard.
Didn't really show up.
It's hard to judge over a small sample size. It is, but yeah,
maybe a 5, maybe I guess 4 or 5.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the front line. Let's do them individually because I want to get to. Actually, I missed a midfielder. Sorry, Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, I think Saka also gets a 7. I like Ruki's one there. So, yeah, got the goal. I think he was doing more than I expected him to do, obviously, from our conversation in that number 10 role. I think he leaves much to be desired against the ball in that role, but I thought that because Saka is a very, very good player, he can probably adapt to almost anything. We've even seen him play left wing back before, and so I don't think he's horrible in there. I don't think he's better than some of the options we have personally, but that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, today, 7, that's fine.
Yeah. Look, there was another reality that I thought we were going to be living in. We were going to be having, he was the headliner, and we were talking about Saka and the 10 and the impact and the questions on Odegaard, which I was putting it, all that stuff gets shoved to the side. If there was one player in this team that I could have given an 8 to today, it's going to be Saka, but I'm not going to do it because of the result.
No.
7.5.
If we'd have won, maybe he would have got it. Yeah.
I'm pushing it 7.5. I'm going to say for Saka, because the through balls that he was playing like he put Gyökeres through, he put everybody through, in the first half. Yeah, I thought Saka was better. All right. I want to start with one player in the forward line because I'm going to absolutely dig him out. Rookie says Timber was the worst player on the pitch. I've actually I'll counter that. Gabriel Martinelli. How he plays 90 minutes today is beyond me. Martinelli is a 3 or a 2, and that's
Not
being
great.
nice.
Not great. His hesitancy in front of the net is troubling.
It's
troubling is what it is. That mamby-pamby shot that he took when all he's got to do is put your foot through it and put it over Jose Sa. Instead, he kind of tapped it to him. I was furious, man.
I mean, thinking about it, the only reason why he stays on the pitch is probably by default, because Madueke, we mentioned how many minutes he's played. Saka, again, comes off with a little bit of, I don't know what's wrong with him again. Again, he's still working his way back to fitness, all that stuff. Trossard comes in, comes out. So almost by default, he stayed on the whole time, but he really should have been hooked. The first one. When me and Cal were talking about during this game, he was like, in the first half, hey, I can't wait to hook off Martinelli. Never happened. But I think that was more by default than anything else. Noni, what do you reckon about Noni?
3. Yeah. I can't get past the lack of consistent end product. When he's on the end of the play, when he's the one finishing, he seems to do well. One touch against Wigan in the back of the net. Header against Brentford, back of the net. Yeah, he seems to do well when he runs through, and he's that same goal he scored versus Bayern. He ran through and did it himself.
Martin Keown was mentioning at the halftime show that he thought he would have been a penalty shoot. The header that he missed, there's a penalty shot in there. I think it would have been a little bit soft, but Martin Keown brought that. To be honest, I was like, what even are we fucking talking about here? But when he said it, I was like, okay, I could see it. There's a little bit of contact there, but no way would the ref ever give that in a million years. But yeah, Noni for me, 5 again, standard. I thought his first half was way better than his second half, but I think he ran out of gas. Of all the players who I can give excuses for running out of gas physically, it's him. Because he has played insane amount of ball since basically Saka came out of the warm-up in the game against Sunderland. He's been in there
every time.
Yeah. All right. Victor Gyökeres.
Gyökeres, I'd probably say, gets a 6. I thought he was decent without really being in it too much. I thought he definitely battled for the long balls that were sent to him. I thought a couple of times he brought it in well and was able to lay it off. So I'll give him a 6.
All right. So this is I'm his lawyer according to Negative Dan. I'm going to tell you this. Today we drew 2-2. We dropped points, right? And Gyökeres does not score today. But are you noticing that he is becoming very involved in the build-up play? He is running in behind on both wings and through the middle. Like the Rice chance is Gyökeres winning the ball back high, playing it to Gyökeres, then playing it to Rice. He actually makes a good run off over to his left. If Gyökeres laid it off to him, he probably would have scored today. Gyökeres is looking like I want him to look. He actually low-key is looking like Sporting Lisbon Gyökeres in terms of all of the off ball. His touch is looking sharper. He's no longer clunky on the ball. Like I think it's a little bit because he's not naturally gifted with it, but you can tell you it's a lot tighter. And he's He's not only being involved in the gameplay, everything looks clean, everything's coming off. Like, I thought Gyökeres was great. I heard Brandon yelling, "Why did Gyökeres make it to 60 minutes?" And I'm like, he's the only player in the fucking attack today
he needs to play the
that
whole time.
had showed me anything.
We've seen Jesus come in and play on the wing, so leave Gyökeres in there and cook Martinelli.
Thank you. Leave Gyökeres. 100%. If you're taking him off for Tottenham when the game is in the balance, sorry, that's
come on, man.
That's not acceptable. Like, this is where Arteta needs to learn, right? I know he gets, I want to share the 90 minutes between Jesus and I've heard him say it publicly, right? And I've heard Gunner blog say it as well. He said that, Arteta has been singing behind the scenes about how he loves splitting the 90 minutes between the two players, right? Sorry, you leave Gyökeres in there today, we might have had a guy to bail us out. Because one thing I saw when the ball goes to the back of the net, and I'm like, I have nobody who I trust at the minute who's going to get me back.
Oh, I didn't think we were getting.
Saka had a great minutes of individual brilliance, which ended up in the own goal from Mascara when we beat them the first time. We could have had that if we wanted to turn on the burners, but we didn't have the options out there to do so. You need to leave that stuff out there. Sorry, Gyökeres played only 45 minutes on the weekend. He shouldn't have played on the weekend, by the way. I didn't get that.
At all. What was the point of that? Zero.
Oh, so we can score some more. He had confidence. Like,
and we didn't score anyway.
Another way to give a man confidence is say, you're too important to play today.
Declan Rice didn't play, did he?
Right. Leave him on. I leave him on for the whole game. Honestly, I think. Right. Actually, I'd say Gyökeres for me gets a 6.5, pushing a 7.
I think Arteta underestimates how much we lose when he comes off the pitch.
Yeah, the Jesus in this away game, bro, not the answer.
Nope.
Not the answer. Doesn't have it at all. And I was screaming at my TV as always.
Did we give him a rating because he came on and got like?
Now it's time.
Like he's one another, just like Eze didn't do shit, didn't do it. Like he didn't even do enough for me to like want to give a rating. Like what did you do?
Again, he's a net negative because
he didn't do anything.
What you lose for the Gyökeres when he comes on, and that's not his fault, but he does lack that. It's just Arteta. As much as I am like a big Arteta guy and I want to see him win trophies, and right now he's on the cusp. Terry said it for the first time today. If he doesn't win it this year, things keep going the way it is right now in the league. He's not managing Arsenal next season. That's if this board has anything about him. Like, because we've shown this mentality thing has to be coming to him. Sorry.
100%.
He needs to get these players away. Though these responses in the press conference while he's sitting there trying to be as honest as possible, I'm saying it's on you, man. You fucked up a lot today. Why is this continuing to happen? Why is this as a result of City starting to play well? Are we acting this nervous?
Mentality starts at the top.
Yeah. Do we have any more attackers to go for with? No, that's it. Oh, Trossard, and I'm not going to mark him because he came off with a concussion. I can't. So yeah, let's see. Martinelli was worse than Timber, says Mark. Agreed. Mark, I feel we should have had Martinelli striker. No. I think we should have Martinelli center bench. Out of the game.
Martinelli only needs to be. Martinelli is like an in behind when they're space type of player. I don't like seeing him against low block
There's
teams.
only one player who wants to be striker, and again, a lot of people, because of, again, this is what I was warning you about when you guys were dragging his name through the mud. He's going to come back to bite you because when he's actually is being your best attacker, you're blinded. And you're counting him out. There's one man who should have been striker. There's one man who should be striker. And that's Victor Gyökeres. The other man is Kai Havertz. But at the moment, Kai Havertz is suiting, he's not available today, but his strengths right now are suiting the most for number 10 position right now. It's Gyökeres, okay? And by the way, Mark, appreciate you commenting, anything like that. I love you been here for almost 2 hours, you and Ruki, and it's awesome. The time I come in, I always thought I was going to be literally talking to myself, and jumping off after 5 minutes, and then you guys revive the stream. Yeah, but anyway, I'll finish off your point, not to only read the whole thing. I feel we should have had Martinelli striker as a left wing, stack attacking midfield, Noni right wing with Rice and Zubi holding. I agree with the premise maybe, but Martinelli not in the team at all, and it's Victor Gyökeres all day, every day. For me, every day, unless you're rotating him and you're prioritizing.
Unless we're up
other
3-0,
competitions.
unless we're up 3-0 and cruising, Gyökeres should be at the number 9 spot for me.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Yeah. At controlling temper. Yeah, again, yeah, that's true. That is true. And Martinelli's off the ball stuff is important, which I think maybe why he switched him to the right wing. But again, it's foreign to him, which is why he struggles a little bit more. And it came down the left where Martinelli vacated that equalizer. That is definitely true. And that's, I think, why he put Cal in there. But then Cal's not even standing there. By the way,
The less said about that, the
who
better.
is the left in that thing, right? Who is the left back? Why are Calafiori and Hincapie both central right, leaning towards white? Who is the left back?
Hincapie.
I've got five defenders.
Yeah.
2 of them are my left backs, and neither of them are at left back. I got 2 left backs, and
Neither of them are in the right spot.
the more I think about this, the way that game finished, the more angry I become.
Yeah, I don't have a clue.
But I've calmed down overall in my overall thing, but that angers me.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell
It
you
comes
on
down
that
to that. Really, I'm not caring or ripping into this team as much if that one scenario doesn't occur, and that's what I fucking hate sometimes about sports. Because overall, we get 3 points. These 3 points. Martinelli was 0.5 better than Tipper. No, to be honest, they were both bad in their own ways. I think neither of them should start against Tottenham for me. Timber was so bad when he and himself were on the same flank. When he and Timber were on the same.
When Nelly and Timber were on the same.
They were, but yeah, the whole left side, crap. And I'm not counting out. I'd choose that front for their. Okay, so he's what he's saying. Response to
For Nelly,
what I said
yeah.
about Gyökeres.
Yep.
Yeah, but speed is one thing, but I think to Ruki's point, control is another thing. Because again, Gabriel Jesus has got speed, right? People laughed at me when I talked about what Gyökeres was doing when he wasn't scoring, and that's what he was doing, and it's important. And
Yep.
Anyway, guys, we are over 2 hours, which is, by the way, way beyond I ever imagined for this emergency pod. But I just had so much on my chest. I feel like a lot of you guys had on the chest. We had to just kind of on a night tonight for the first time this year. I'm doubting this thing. I'm doubting this thing, and even me, I'm not fully gone because again, top of the Premier League still, top. Again, at the same time, we also win all our games. I hate when people do that. City win all their games and win the champion. I did that today, but we win all of our games. We're also the champion. So it's still in our hands. By the way, we actually win all our games and draw. We're the champion. So actually, we can draw one more game at the Etihad, as long as
It
all
has
the
to
other
be
ones are
that one.
Ws.
Yeah. As
So
long
our
as
next
it's
two
that
games are
one.
Tottenham. Here's what pisses me off. Right, our next 2 games are Tottenham and Chelsea.
And
So
they
there's
brighten
zero
and
room
they-
for error in those 2.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. It don't stop. The hit, it just keeps coming.
Champions
coming.
League is coming.
So we got to pull ourselves. Yeah, and dude, we're
Our
it's-
insurance points are gone before the Champions League. That's
It's looking like either Dortmund or Leverkusen.
your thing about having to choose between them, the 2 competitions. Ugh. I thought we might not have to. Might have to be able to get both because we had a cushion in the league.
That's why no one's ever won a quad, ever. At least not an English team.
I mean, the FA Cup was where I was worried because I thought we might get a bad draw or something. And then we got Mansfield Town, and it's just when things start to go into the positive direction, then we're getting this. I want to get back to.
That's why we need
It's
the
actually been a
performance
long
at the
time
weekend.
since I've had this consistency that I've been bragging about to everybody. It's actually gone.
That's why we need it at the weekend. We need a statement at the weekend.
We do, and I think we'll leave it at that. I'd still choose these few last seasons over the 10 beforehand. Of course, 110%.
Well, we did win 2 FA Cups.
It will be what will be. The
three
main
FA
thing is that
Cups
we're
in
in
the
the
10
mix.
years before that.
And it could be a lot. You know what's really funny before we go? I'm the one fan who probably has the most to answer for, given the confidence I showed at the start of the year. And I'm the one that's showing up. I mean, give it back up to Jake. The other one showing up is sitting next to me. But and I'm not talking about Cal. Cal's at work. I just want to say Cal is not ducked the stream. He's at work in the office. I'm at work, but at home, right? Let's make something very, very clear, right? I came on here on my own initiative. This was not unplanned. I was like, Cal, is it cool if I come on by myself? He goes, go for it. I'm just at the, okay. I just want to say that before to everybody. But yeah, I'm going to be here. If everything goes to shit, everyone can come at me and it'll be, honestly, it'll be, I maybe be deflated by that point. I might be,
We're going to lay it all at your door.
I'm just going to be perfectly blunt. I'm enjoying this new YouTube career I've built for myself. And I'm not going to allow the results of my football club to determine where that goes. I'm not the type of person who's going to walk away into the darkness of the night when things go bad. I'll be here. You know.
Well said.
So that is it, guys. Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Jake, for hopping on. Everything was last second. Your viewers didn't even know. This was all in my last second. Like, come on, I just feel like I need to do this for my people. I just felt like I'm talking to all these people and everybody's in the darkness, and I fucking hate. That's what I hate more about this result than the actual fucking result itself, is the effect that it has. The narratives. I'm not watching anybody's content, by the way.
The next 2 days are going to be blistering.
I'm just talking. I'm going to have, there will be content. It will be on my channel, and I'll be watching that, and I'll be doing that, and that's it.
The next 2 days will be brutal for sure.
I was watching through like about a bunch of the headlines. I just looked up Arsenal on YouTube to seek maybe other opinions, and I'm like, yeah, no, not on my channel. Maybe I might gatekeep a little bit here because these people don't even know my channel exists, so I don't even need to put their voice on my channel for no reason. I'm like, yeah, no, let's keep away from that. And by the way, everyone's fucking celebrating. I just don't.
It's us against the world, man. That's how it's
you know what?
be.
Cal said the other day, if Arsenal win the league this year, the Premier League is just the Bundesliga. And for some reason, this is what it is. People are okay with that as long as it's their club that's not winning it. Like, if their club wins it, yeah, right? But if it's not their club, it's like, it can't be somebody else.
Right.
I'm not that way. I was happy Liverpool won the league. As much as my boss was giving me it's about Arsenal finishing second. We finished second because we climbed back up there after, a really bad season. It was City that was the closest to them at one point, and I'd rather it be Liverpool. Anyway, that is going to be the end of the stream today, guys. Thanks so much, everybody, for being here, being involved. We'll be having shows. Actually, have to Anton's Tears is going to come out tonight. I'm going to put that together. Discuss with the committee.
Work never stops.
Work everything out. Put together the graphics and then do that show. And I actually don't even know where I'm going to put Arsenal on the tiers. I hope after everything comes together, we're still top, but you have to be honest. You can't be dishonest. Well, we'll see. We might still be top. Literally, you need to kind of crunch and look back at everything.
We don't want to give away too much. So go watch the Anton's Tears. Make sure you're locked in.
Go watch it. Maybe I might revive Wolves. No, they're still going down.
Whoa. Don't be saying nothing about Burnley. Don't you do it.
Yeah. No. They're still going down. That's the rules, by the way. Nick Wright makes the rules of the tiers, the original tiers. Once you're eliminated from the tiers, you don't get revived. You can't. It's done. You have to live with it. Anyway, guys, thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in, and we will see you guys on the next video. Take care, everyone, and hopefully everything's get better from here. Trust me. Let's fucking get better.